Hey traders, John Howell here. Let's have a look at what the market has done today, which is pretty much flat. We had a bit of a strong move up on the Russell index there. But the biggest theme that I want to really cover in today's video, guys, is that I believe there's a really big bubble that's happening underneath us right now that I believe is going to burst. And not burst in the matter of just having a really complete meltdown, but I believe this whole sector here is really going to start to see a deep pullback here. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so if you do need some help, guys, I'm giving away free membership access to my trading course. In fact, I've actually put up a video there about a trading technique that I've been using that's been working since the 1950s. You'll be able to see that in that course from there. And actually in that video, I go back to the 1950s to show you how in the 1950s this technique was working, and it's still working to this day. So make sure you go check that out there. So the thing that I want to share with you right now is looking at, this is the Nasdaq 100, right? And look what's happened with the Nasdaq 100, right? We have just been powering up to the upside, right? Very little pullbacks, powering to the upside, and we now get into some really strong key areas of resistance where we are now. So this whole 14,500 and the 15,000 level is definitely indeed a lot of areas of where the market is probably likely to pull us at. So I'll get to that in just a minute, but just a quick little update across the other indices. So looking at the Dow Jones, we're still in a bit of a no man's land right now on the Dow Jones. We're definitely in a very tight triangle pattern here. My big thing I'm watching for when it comes to the Dow Jones is what actually happens on these bars here, because if we hold here, right, if we hold here and we start to see a move up, right, something like that, then we're probably likely to see a break to the upside if we hold here. Now, and this is where it's going to be a bit of a telling story over the next couple of days, right? If we don't and we start to see something like that happening, a complete down move, well, that's gonna retrace this entire big bar up. And what that means is that because we had this strong up bar here should be the start of a next move up, right? Because we had a pullback. Now we're ready to go. But due to the fact that we haven't done that yet, due to the fact that we haven't done that, and if we do get a retracement of that, that simply says that this big bar here was a fake out, and now it's more like a high, a lower high, and then a move on the downside from there. So let's go look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 is actually still holding quite strong. We are at a strong area of resistance through here, but the S&P 500 is still holding quite strong through here. We're not really doing much, but we're still holding really, really strong. The big key area that I'm watching for on this one here is where it is here, right? So depending, it's that whole 50% of this bar here is what I'm watching for. If for some reason tomorrow we open and we do something like this and we come back down and we retrace this entire move, that tells me that this move is now failed. We're failing right now on this move, and we're likely to see that happening as a result of that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens tomorrow. But if we do open and we do something like that, we're probably likely to then continue to the upside on the S&P 500. So there's a few key areas that I'm watching for when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to basically the title of this video, is that we're seeing a lot of these really big tech stocks, right? Like for example, Meta. Right now, if we have a look at Meta, and I squeeze my charts up, Meta has been in just a massive tear to the upside, as you can see, right? Now, there's a few things that I really want to share with you when it comes to Meta. The first thing is the big statement around this tech sector is that the tech sector is right now the biggest bubble we've seen this year, and it's about to burst, and that's the tech sector. And so the reason why, guys, is because if you look at any market that goes straight, that goes up a lot without very little pullbacks, that's called now bubbles, and bubbles need to burst and at least get a really strong pullback to balance out that, right? And so the harder, the bigger the move up really quickly, the harder the move down. And this happens everywhere, right? This even happened, this even happened, back with, like, even if I look at like this here, right? This is silver, right? Look what happens, and this is where you can start to spot. Look at this here, silver. This is in the inflation days, which, by the way, I'm actually expecting silver to do something like this again. Just a bit of FYI there, but probably late this year, or late this decade, should I say? But look at this here, big move up, and then a big spike down, right? Look at this here, big vertical move up, and then look what happened, and then a big move down. So the purpose of me bringing that up is that when we start to see these big moves up from here, we're probably on the verge of getting some form of pullback. Now we do have the gap here to possibly close. So Facebook, Meta, it may have a little bit more move to the upside, but after that, we're probably likely to get something like that coming out of Meta. Looking at that, or we may be starting to roll over now. If I'm looking at some of the shorter time frame charts, and I was talking with my private clients, let's actually bring up this chart here, right? You actually can see we're actually starting to slow now on Meta, looking at, say, the 15-minute chart, and even the, not so much the hourly chart, but the 15-minute charts, we're starting to slow down, right? Look at this here, we were getting, look at this here, well, so we're getting this higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now look what's happening, low, equal low. We're starting to what? We're starting to go sideways, and look at the moving average. Now the moving average, when the moving average goes up like that, it's strong, but then when it starts to flatten out like that, we're now starting to slow down. Look at this here, strong up, and then now look what's happening, we're starting to flatten out. So Meta could be on the verge of having a drop through here, or if we do get one last little push to the upside, then we're probably likely to get that, and then it's going to fail from there as well too. So and so that's what I'm seeing there when it comes to Meta. And also, you also notice as well too when it comes to these stocks, is that you can see here, right, through every stock, we only get a certain distance away before we actually come back to the moving average, right? We come back. Look how far we are. Look how far away we are right now. We're so far away from this moving average right now that we're least likely to come back from there. If you look at Apple, right? And I talked about this on some of my last updates as well too. When it comes to Apple, look at that through there. So look what happened with Apple, right? Apple did what? Apple had a big flush above the highs, and now we've actually started to pull back through here. So I'm actually expecting Apple to start to see a bit of a pullback now as well too, because look what happened. It sucked everyone in right here above the highs. So, and this is what they do, right? If the market's been going up like that, and we get to a strong resistance, we're probably going to break the resistance, and then we're probably likely to see something like that. Because a lot of amateurs, they don't understand. They think, oh, it's breaking above new highs. It's now getting heated up. We're now getting ready to go again. And so we're probably likely to see a pullback on things like Apple. Microsoft is another one. Look at Microsoft. This thing is just on a tear to the upside. And we're not there yet, but we're almost to the high there. That's why I'm saying that looking at things like Meta, Facebook, how we almost closed that gap. We're almost at the highs here. We may have one last little push to the upside to flush these, to really get people long, and then they're going to sort of just dump it on you from there. And once again, if I bring up my moving average, look how far away we are from the moving average now. Really far away. And as you can see through history, that when it gets too far away from the moving average, we've done too much price, all right, too much price away from it, and now we need a good pullback to get to the moving average to start to show that as well too, right? And the biggest one out of the whole lot of them to me is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is like Look at NVIDIA. Look at this thing. Just tower up. Just towering up, right? This thing has done what? This thing's done 270% move in 7 months. This is the biggest, but this is the biggest one out of all of them. Now, there's when there's a big bubble and there's probably a good pullback, there's opportunities to benefit from that, right? I'm doing that myself right now. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you, giving you a bit of a clues here, right? What I'm doing. I'm not telling you what stock and so on and so forth, but you can see what's actually going on here. And once again, look at things like NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA's doing what? NVIDIA has a big, massive gap, which is probably likely to be filled, but look how far away we're from the moving average and look how vertical it's been. So right now, guys, the tech sector itself is in the biggest bubble we've ever seen, and we're likely to get a really strong pullback. Make sense, guys? So I'm going to get into the mining sector now, guys, and gold and silver. But before I do, guys, I'm actually giving away a 30-day free access or 30-day risk-free trial to my top coaching program. I'm actually about to take that down. I've been running it for the last week or two. So this is probably one of your last times to actually get access to that. You get access to my strategies, my membership area, the scanning process as well too. The weekly coaching and so on and so forth as well too. So if you want to get access to that, guys, and test it all out, then that very first link in the description, click on that. You can go check it out there. There's also a video there walking you through my system, and then and all the details to my actual coaching program, and test it all out. And if you're happy to stay a member after your trial period, well, you'll be happy to pay, right? But if you're not and you think I'm full of shit, well then guess what? You can cancel and you'll never be billed. So, but that's what I'm doing from here right now, guys. Again, I'm probably going to take that down the next couple of days. I've just been running it for the last few weeks. So that very first link in the description there, guys, click on that. Go over there right now, register. And you'll be able to get that 30-day trial to actually test out my coaching program. And I know that for me, guys, the stuff that I teach and the way that I trade, if you apply the stuff that I really teach you in my coaching program, you'll make more progress in the next 3 weeks than you have in the last 3 years. I promise you that. So let's go have a look at the mining sector right now. So the mining sector right now is still holding quite strong with this level through here, right? So we can see how that we're looking at this level, and we're still seeing, look at this here, low. We're still making a strong higher low. We still could be making a strong higher low through here. So it doesn't matter what I think about what's happening in the markets. We're still getting this strong higher low. So we could be getting that. Now, the big thing for me is on the GDXJ is this level through here. See, we have got this big, strong level through here. If indeed we do hold through here, and we start to see a move back to the upside from there to there, if indeed we do get that, then what's probably likely to happen is that's probably likely to be the start of a really big move. So while the tech sector, I'm seeing that we're probably likely to see a move down, we're getting a hold level through here. We could actually start to see a really big move to the upside. If I go to the GDX as well too, right? You can see here on the GDX that we're getting the same thing as well too, right? We could be getting a nice good, we've got this low period through here, higher low. This could just be another higher low before away we go as well too. So so that's what I'm seeing there on the GDX through there. If you look at silver, look what silver's been doing, right? So silver right now is really at a point where I believe we're likely to start to see a nice move back up again. This is really setting up for a nice move back up again. So we can see here we have, I just said that twice, didn't I? Right? So low, higher low. Look what's happening now. Now we're doing this. Now we're going sideways. We're probably going to get a break up like that. And then we're probably likely to see a move coming up like that when it comes to silver there. So you can see if I zoom in here, there's actually a few levels here that I'm really watching, right? So the first one, which is this level here, right? That's that major support level on my charts. The second one here is that 50% Fibonacci level, which is right there, which had actually bounced off 50% Fibonacci. And the third one, look at this here, that's that major long-term support level, which was what? Which was a lot of resistance through there. And then now it actually found a lot of support through there. And now we're just going sideways. So the big key for me here, would be indeed that area through there. What we want to see is we want to see a really big strong, if I go to my shorter time frame charts now, let's go to the hourly charts. So what I'd want to see is I'd want to see some sort of big strong breakup bar, because that'll be the area through there, right? So that's more like, see how it's more like an area. Sometimes we can't actually get a solid line, but we have that resistance point through there, and then we have all the resistance point all through there as well too. You see that through there? So it's more like an area here. If indeed silver holds here and we start to get some sort of like a big move up like that, then that tells me that we're now breaking out of this level. We've got this slight little upward trend on this hourly charts. That could be the start of that move coming back up towards that 26. I was going to say 26,000. Yeah, 26,000 silver. $26 mark on the silver price there. So let's go have a look at gold right now. Gold is still in the makings, I believe, of creating a really big, strong higher low once again. So we had this low point through here, another higher low, and now we're actually bouncing that higher low and also bouncing off this trend line. So we're getting to that point through there. We're really holding here strong. Again, for me, looking at the absolute short-term level basis, we can see how that whole area through there really is so you have all this support level back through here. You have this resistance all through here and resistance through here. That tells me that that's a really strong area. So if I go to my hourly charts, and then indeed, if we actually start to see gold start to do something like this, where we start to do something like that, and we may get a break up like that, then what that tells me is that, see that strong area resistance? That's now breaking up through there, and we've also got probably a strong level coming down through there somewhere, but we do get the break up from here like that, then that whole resistance levels now become support, but then we may get like a bit of a pullback, right? And then we're probably likely to make another move. So that's that. You can see here, right, all this support level here on the hourly charts, all this resistance levels. If we do break up back up above that, and we start to see like a 2,000 print again, then that tells me that this overall move, and there's also a bit of a short-term trend line that's been happening here as well too. Notice that as well too, right? So notice how we actually had that short-term down move, lower highs through here. Now we're actually starting to build a bit of a base here. So that'll be the big thing I'm watching for when it comes to the gold market as well too. So there we go, traders. Hope that helps you out. Once again, traders, make sure you click on that very first link in the description. Make sure you grab that 30-day sort of trial to my coaching program, and I'll see you in the next video.